Good morning, student. Today we are going to start a new poem of our Honeycomb textbook, and the name of the poem is Chivvy, written by Michael Rosen. Now, first of all, we have to understand what is the meaning of Chivvy. It means nag. Here in this poem, Chivvy is a catalogue of various do's and don'ts that the grown-ups dictate to young children. The adults constantly give a list of instruction to the children about how to sit, how to talk, how to eat, and so on. Now, here in page number 69, the Michael Rosen tells his own experience when Michael was 5 years old. His mother took him to a nearby school for admission. The teacher asked, "What does your mother call you at home?" Then Michael answered, his mother calls him Michael Don't. This tells that a nag. This shows the nag which continuously urges someone to do something, and often it is an annoying way. Now let's start the first stanza of the poem. Grown up says things like speak up, don't talk with your mouth full, don't stare, don't point, don't pick your nose. Now, here in the first stanza, the poet point out to a series of instructions given by the grown up. The poem opens with a long list of instructions. In all likelihood, these instructions are being issued by the adults to their young one. And what are these instructions? These instructions are speak up, don't talk with your mouth full of food, don't stare, don't point, don't pick your nose. These are the instructions given by the elders to the young one. Now let's move on to the second stanza. Sit up, sit please, less noise, shut the door behind you. Don't drag your feet. Haven't you got a hanky? Take your hands out of your pocket. Now here in the second stanza, the poet continues to put an emphasis on how the young children are being directed to act in according to the instructions issued by the adults. The poems continue with yet another set of instruction. Each and every activity of the young child is administrated and put under the surveillance of the grown-ups. Now, what are the instructions? Instructions like sit up, say please, less noise, shut the door behind you, don't drag your feet. Haven't you got your hanky? Means don't you have your hanky with you? Take your hands out of your pocket. Now let's move on to the last stanza of the poem. Pull your socks up, stand up straight, say thank you, don't interrupt. No one thinks you are funny. Take your elbow off the table. Can't you make your own mind up about anything? Now, in the last stanza, the poet showcases how the child is still being instructed by the adults, though the child has grown up. Now, here the instructions are pull your socks up, stand up straight, say thank you, don't interrupt, no one think you're funny, take your elbow off the table, etc. Now, here in the final couplet of the poem shows that perhaps the child has grown up. Still, the adults around him continuously giving them instructions, but this time for a different reason. The child is unable to decide anything for himself. He is not certain about anything. Now, in this poem, the poet is quite ironical as the entire childhood of the child was spent blindly following the instructions. Now, here the poem ends, and I hope you all understood the poem very well. Thank you, students.